Rogar had been in deep meditation for nearly 20 hours, his body shaking from the strain. He didn't know what he was supposed to be seeing, or even what was wrong, but there was something. Then suddenly he felt calm. He opened his eyes to see he was no longer in the prayer room, but instead on the steps of a massive temple. He looked up to the bright sky to see a massive dragons flying about, and on the steps before him, two Dragon Tar warriors who pushed open the doors. Rogar contained his excitement and walked in. Rays of golden and silver light lit up the Platinum Hall leading up to the shrine room. There, sitting in front row, was a human dressed in simple clothing, reading a book. Rogar walked up to the front row to the statue. The statue was a massive visage of Bahamut himself, shimmering in all his majesty, and with his wings spread out and talons out as if it were a bird of prey. "O Lord, guide me. Tell me why I am here, and what I must know." "My son," the man said a few feet to his side. He spoke calm and softly. "In my temple, you may speak directly to me." Rogar turned and saw a ripple move over his skin like water, showing platinum scales for only a second. "This body makes it easier for reading, you see." Rogar spun, kneeling and lowering his head as low as possible. "My mistake, Lord." Rogar saw the smile on his face and got up as he was gestured to sit at his side. "You were trying to reach me then?" "Yes, and we do not have much time, I'm afraid." He set the book down and sighed softly. "You and your companions are in greater danger than you expect. While you wage war with the dwarves, an army mobilizes to attack Farwater as well as the Darkspawn. Led by that abomination Chara, is spreading more and more corruption. And there is more." "More?" he asked, alarmed. "My lord, this is already too much." He looked down, feeling the weight of two horrible armies waging war across the land. "I'm afraid so. My sister is also using this disturbance to try and breach herself out of hell." Rogar's blood ran hot at the thought of Tiamat breaching into the world, but the words of Bahamut gave him chills. "If she is summoned, it will lead to her doom. The Darkspawn and the Ratman are both making a trap for her, as my spies say. If either managed to take her power boon, they would have been too terrible to imagine, not to mention the damage a god would cause on soil." Rogar felt himself growing exhausted, and Bahamut put a hand on his shoulder. "We're out of time. Go. Take back the city and help your companions, but you must find the cult of Tiamat. All I know is that they're located south of Rend Forest, near the elven city of Emerald Relphus." Rogar nodded, but before he spoke, he was thrust back into his body, gasping for air. Karina was exhausted from the day, and unlike usual, she was asleep. In her dream, she was back home working with her father as she used to. The memory was sweet, and it made her happy to be back. It dissolved slowly as the memory ended and she was back in the waters of the dead. She expected kindred, but instead there was nothing for a while, before she felt the wolf behind her, its footsteps impossibly silent. "My challenge first to be done, I see." The wolf paced slowly, always managing to stay behind her. "Kindred has hopes for you. She knows you are destined for possibilities. Well, I doubted. I doubt less now. But I need more. So much more." His growl was enough to make her tremble slightly. "More? More what?" She stopped trying to look at him and kept her eyes forward, breathing slowly to keep in control. The wolf was behind her now. She knew his mouth was open, as he looked her over. "Kill with my dagger. Send me prey to devour. Send me warriors who will fight so I can feel joy before they perish by my fangs." His head lowered, so his head was beside Karina's. He stared for a long moment into her, looking at her soul. "Child, you do not yet understand the power you wield. You are a child of chaos, a child touched by time. Talk to the wizard Dresden and tell him." The wood laughed as he started to pull back into the darkness. "What your mother's name is."